We're giving your inheritance to your sister. She has 3 kids to support, Dad said on my 40th birthday. You don't have kids, so you don't need it. I didn't fight. I just asked, do Grandma know? His face went pale. The next morning, Grandma's lawyer called them with a court order. The words hung in the air like a death sentence delivered over birthday cake. We're giving your inheritance to your sister, Dad said, not even looking up from cutting the store-bought vanilla cake with Happy 40th written in blue icing. She has 3 kids to feed. You don't have kids, so you don't need it. My fork stopped halfway to my mouth. Mom nodded along like this was perfectly reasonable dinner conversation. My sister Jennifer smiled that small, satisfied smile I'd seen 1,000 times before. I set the fork down carefully. 30 years of being the responsible one, the stable one, the one who never asked for anything. And on my 40th birthday, they decided I didn't deserve what my grandmother left me because I made different life choices than my sister. I didn't yell, didn't argue, just asked one question. Did Grandma know? When she made her will, did she know you'd do this? Dad's face went pale. Mom's hand froze on her wine glass. The next morning, Grandma's lawyer called them with a court order. Turned out Grandma knew exactly what she was doing, and she'd made sure no one could touch what was mine. My name is Troy Mitchell. I'm 40 years old. I work as a senior accountant for a regional grocery store chain, managing finances for 17 locations across 3 states. I make $78,000 a year, live in a modest 2-bedroom condo, drive a 7-year-old Honda Civic, and I'm very, very good with money. I'm also child-free by choice. No kids, never wanted them. Made that decision at 25 and never looked back. This fact, more than anything else in my life, has defined how my family sees me. My sister Jennifer is 43. She has 3 kids, ages 12, 9, and 6. She's been married twice, currently single, works part-time at a dental office, and has made struggling single mother her entire identity. She's not struggling really. She gets child support from both ex-husbands, lives in our parents' old house, rent-free, and has never been told no by anyone in our family. I've been told no my entire life. Let me back up to how we got to that birthday dinner, because understanding my family requires understanding how they've always worked. Jennifer was the golden child from birth, first grandchild, only girl for the first 3 years, the baby everyone doted on. When I came along, I was the boy, the quiet one, the easy one who didn't need much attention. Jennifer got piano lessons, dance classes, the lead in school plays. I got told, you don't need those things. You're fine on your own. When Jennifer got pregnant at 21 with her first kid, everyone rallied. Baby showers, furniture, money, childcare. She's so young. She needs help. We're family. When I graduated college with my accounting degree at 22, I got a card with $50 in it. And good luck. We know you'll be fine. The pattern continued for 2 decades. Jennifer's crises were family emergencies requiring all hands on deck. My achievements were met with, that's nice, honey. Grandma Eleanor was different. She was my dad's mother, a sharp-minded woman who'd been a bookkeeper for 40 years before retiring. She noticed things. She saw the disparity. And unlike my parents, she actually talked to me like I mattered. Every Sunday, I'd drive to her place for lunch, just me and her. We'd talk about numbers, about books, about life. She never once asked when I was having kids. Never treated my choices as a phase or a character flaw. You know what you want, she told me once. That's rare. Most people just follow the script and wonder why they're miserable. When I was 35, Grandma Eleanor sold her house and moved into assisted living. She was healthy, just tired of maintaining property. She was also quietly, methodically getting her affairs in order. She called me one afternoon. Troy, I need you to witness some paperwork. Can you come by? I went that evening. Her lawyer, Mr. Harrison, a man I'd never met, was there with documents. I'm updating my will, she said simply. I want you here as a witness, and because it concerns you. She was leaving me everything. The house sale money, her investments, her savings, approximately $340,000. Grandma, I said throat tight. That's Jennifer has kids. Mom and Dad will what? Guilt you, pressure you? Troy, I've watched your parents give everything to your sister for 40 years while you got scraps. I've watched Jennifer take and never once think about anyone but herself. This is my money, my decision, and I'm leaving it to the person who actually talks to me like a human being, not an ATM. But no buts. You're responsible. You're kind. You visit me every week, not because you want something, but because you care. Jennifer hasn't been here in 8 months. Your parents come once a month out of obligation and spend the whole time on their phones. You're getting the inheritance, and I'm making sure it's legally airtight so no one can contest it. Mr. Harrison nodded. I've structured it with specific language. The will explicitly names Troy as sole beneficiary with several clauses that make it nearly impossible to challenge. Eleanor has been very clear about her wishes. I signed as a witness, still feeling like this was a dream. Don't tell your parents yet, Grandma said. Not until I'm gone. I don't want them bothering me about it. I won't. She smiled. Good boy. Now how's work? Tell me about that audit you mentioned. That was 3 years ago. Grandma passed away 6 months ago, peaceful in her sleep at 87. I was devastated. She'd been my anchor in a family that never quite knew what to do with me. The reading of the will was scheduled 2 weeks after her funeral. The day before, Mr. Harrison called me. Troy, I need to prepare you. Your grandmother's will is very clear, but your parents have been asking questions. I've told them nothing. Tomorrow, everything will come out. Are you ready? As ready as I'll ever be. Good. And Troy, your grandmother specifically asked me to give you this if anyone tried to pressure you about the inheritance. He emailed me a scanned letter in Grandma's handwriting. Troy, if you're reading this, someone is trying to take what's yours. Don't let them. You earned this by being the only one who loved me for who I was, not for my money. Stand firm. You're stronger than they think. Love, Grandma. I printed it and kept it in my wallet. The will reading was tense. My parents sat on one side of Mr. Harrison's conference table. Jennifer sat beside them, her kids waiting in the lobby. I sat alone on the other side. Mr. Harrison began reading. First, the standard items, personal belongings, then the money. To my grandson, Troy Mitchell, I leave the entirety of my estate, including all financial assets, totaling approximately $340,000. This decision is made with full mental capacity and clear intent. Silenced, Dad's face turned red. That can't be right. She didn't mean all of it. Jennifer has kids. The will is very clear, Mr. Harrison said calmly. Eleanor was firm. I warned her this could cause family conflict. She replied, and I quote, Good. Maybe it'll teach them something. Mom began crying. This isn't fair. Jennifer needs help. Need isn't the issue, Mr. Harrison replied. Eleanor's wishes are legally binding. Troy is the sole beneficiary. Jennifer stared at me. You knew. You knew and didn't tell us. Grandma asked me not to. I said, because you tried to manipulate her. Jennifer raised her voice. You spent time with her just to get her money. I spent time with her because I loved her. The money was her decision, not mine. That's not true, Dad snapped. You poisoned her against us. Jennifer gets $3,000 a month in child support, I said. She lives rent-free in your old house. She works 15 hours a week. She's not struggling. She's comfortable and still wants more. She has kids to feed, Jennifer said. And I have a life to live, I replied. Grandma left me this because I showed up every Sunday for 5 years. Where were you? No one answered. We left the office in hostile silence. I thought it was over. I was wrong. 3 months later, my parents called occasionally. Awkward conversations filled with hints about doing the right thing. I ignored them. Then came my birthday. Mom insisted on dinner. Just family, she said. We need to move forward. I arrived at 6. Jennifer was there with her kids. They were sweet, completely unaware of the tension. Dinner was stiff. Small talk. Then cake. Store-bought vanilla with Happy 40th Troy written in blue icing. Dad cut the cake and said casually, Your mom and I talked. We think the fair thing is for you to give your inheritance to Jennifer. She needs it more. I froze. What? Your grandmother was old when she made the will, Mom added. She didn't understand how much Jennifer struggles. It's not your decision, I said. We're asking you to do the right thing, Dad said. Transfer the money to Jennifer. You don't understand what it's like raising kids, Jennifer said. You live alone with no real responsibilities. You chose that life, I replied. You chose to have 3 kids. You chose your marriages. You chose to work part-time. Those choices don't entitle you to my inheritance. Family takes care of family, Mom said softly. Really? I said. Because I don't remember family taking care of me. I remember Jennifer getting everything while I got scraps. Grandma saw that. That's why she left the money to me. I stood up. Did Grandma know? I asked quietly. Did she know you'd try this? Dad went pale. Mom stared at her plate. She mentioned it a year before she died. Mom admitted. She said she was leaving everything to you. And what did you say? I told her it wasn't fair. That Jennifer had kids. That we'd redirect it after she passed. There it was. You planned this, I said. You knew for a year and still tried to take it. It's not taking, Dad argued. It's redistributing. It's theft, I said. You're trying to override a legal will. I grabbed my coat. Thanks for dinner. Happy birthday to me. I left while Jennifer shouted behind me. Shaking, I called Mr. Harrison and left a voicemail explaining everything. He called back Saturday and asked me to come in Monday at his office. He explained that Grandma had anticipated this. She'd placed safeguards in the will. My parents were each supposed to receive $20,000, but if they pressured me or interfered, they would lose it. Since they did, that money now came to me, raising my inheritance to $380,000. He read a letter Grandma wrote to my parents, calling them out for favoring Jennifer and making it clear the money was mine because I was the only one who truly cared for her. There was more. Grandma had undergone a psychiatric evaluation months before her death to prevent claims of manipulation. Everything was documented. She had also prepared a restraining order, ready if my family continued harassing me. I signed it. Finally, I opened a birthday card she'd left just in case. In it, she told me I owed no one my money, my future, or an explanation for being child-free. She told me to live fully and reminded me she was proud of me. I cried in that office. When Mr. Harrison asked what I wanted to do next, I told him to send the letter and warning. Then I asked to set up a trust for Jennifer's kids, $15,000 each for college when they turn 21. The rest, I said, is mine. Do whatever you want with it. The letter was delivered Tuesday. The court order followed Wednesday. On Thursday, my phone rang. Dad, we need to talk. No, we don't, I said. You forfeited your $20,000. If you contact me again about the inheritance, the restraining order goes active. Do you understand? Silence. We raised you better than this, he said. No, I replied. Grandma raised me better than this. You just fed me. I hung up. Mom left a voicemail crying about family and fairness. I didn't call back. Jennifer texted that her kids would suffer while I lived comfortably. I blocked her. That was 4 months ago. I've used $30,000 so far, paid off my car, took a trip to Japan, and set up trust funds for Jennifer's kids, $15,000 each for college. The rest is invested and growing. My parents haven't contacted me since. Jennifer tried once through a mutual friend asking for money. I said no. I changed my number, moved to a new condo, and started therapy to unpack 40 years of being the forgotten child. I sleep while knowing my grandmother truly saw me and protected me, even after she was gone. People say child-free adults are selfish or don't understand sacrifice. I learned this. Having kids doesn't make you entitled to other people's money. Grandma didn't leave me her estate because I was child-free. She left it because I showed up, cared, and was present. Sometimes the people who claim to love you will try to take from you the moment they think you don't need it. The right response isn't giving in. It's protecting what's yours and letting them face the consequences. That's love. Everything else is obligation pretending to be family.